When the regional conflict in the Middle East rapidly escalated, it immediately and violently fractured global energy supply lines. That sudden supply shock drove the price of crude oil straight up to $100 a barrel. For consumers, this translated into massive utility bills. It also forced dozens of governments to spend public funds just to subsidize fuel taxes at the pump. But those high prices didn't evaporate. They went directly to the top 100 oil and gas companies as unearned profit. This financial counter illustrates the scale of that windfall. During the first month of the conflict, those companies banked an extra $30 million in pure profit every single hour. That localized wealth creates the appearance of market dominance, but the data suggests this price spike actually trapped big oil in a new geopolitical reality. Facing these energy costs, importing nations are no longer willing to wait for prices to fall. They are purchasing a permanent exit strategy. To meet this demand, China ramped up manufacturing and exported a record 68 gigawatts of solar technology in a single month. That single month of production is equal to the total national solar capacity of Spain. This map shows how that hardware was shipped globally in just 30 days, to nations prioritizing their own energy independence. As these regions activate their new solar arrays, their reliance on imported fossil fuels is beginning to shrink. The shock of $100 oil removed the economic incentive for delay, forcing a transition to domestic clean energy that is now visible in these record-breaking hardware shipments. For decades, the fossil fuel industry has relied on the intermittency argument, the claim that renewables are too unreliable to power a grid without constant sun or wind. But that argument is losing its economic basis. Over the last decade, battery storage costs dropped by 93%. With storage this affordable, variable solar and wind generation can now provide firm, round-the-clock power. California is currently proving this at scale. In late March, its battery arrays discharged over 12,000 megawatts of energy to the grid. That discharge equaled the output of 12 nuclear plants, meeting 40% of the state's peak evening demand. The United Kingdom has seen similar results. Wind and solar have outproduced fossil fuels there for 15 consecutive months. That domestic production saved the UK £1.7 billion in gas imports since the start of the conflict in Iran. At $54 to $82 per megawatt hour, firm renewable power is now cheaper than building new gas or coal plants in many regions. If 24/7 renewables are cheaper and provide energy sovereignty, why is global capital still flowing so heavily into oil? In 2022 and 2023, major European oil companies allocated only 5% of their profits to green energy projects. Current economic rules are structured to favor legacy fossil fuel production, rewarding the status quo over new renewable capacity. This corporate inertia is meeting significant public resistance, with citizens increasingly distrusting big oil's commitments and demanding a shift in policy. While temporary windfall taxes have been used to provide short-term relief, they don't address the long-term issue of where these companies reinvest their profits. A permanent structural increase in profit taxes on oil and gas could change that incentive structure, ensuring that after-tax profits are more attractive in renewables. A definitive tax shift signals to the market that the period of capturing high-margin gains from oil price spikes is closing. With the technology ready and public demand high, aligning the tax code with climate targets provides the economic incentive required to begin redirecting global investment into the clean grid.